Welcome to Governor TV.
Ebusiafo yema obi akwa bediba Governor TV so and the demonstration ekoso ewo Supreme Court anim ho any parliament ye the exclusive videos ebro sisi a anti say on subscribe sisi a to the Governor TV YouTube channel Mia Bell no so Mia Bell no so a na wa like na wa comment na wa share kama amobi ehu ye the exclusive videos the course our demonstration I say the call and the ba latest course the top from ho ningina Governor TV so and I was sabe can intimi show say on subscribe and subscribe see and so etima my and then MPP4 MPN4 party executives party grassroots party supporters any MPs any penifo na hodo na and other political parties LPG Kofi Akpaloo party no PNC CPP any parties na hodo na and so etimi demonstration chenchirinchi pa to hwe crowd no and ho no hwe screen so a to say card na no dey na demonstration ni na Chief Justice President John Dramani Mahama etimi suspended no eni obo demonstration ni na chese enam mbra kwan so eni judiciary no almost somebody politics na emwa ematentene ne enkoso inti me the videos no basisi a ama wati mahweko so na subscribe to the Governor TV YouTube channel.
Deputy clerks, members of the Parliamentary Service Management. This morning we're here to reiterate one point. Ghana is under siege, and there's a call on us to rise, resist, and defend the judiciary. Frightening and ominous clouds loom over our republic as we march today. The 1992 Constitution, the sacred covenant that binds us as a free and sovereign people, is under present assault. The very institutions entrusted with safeguarding our liberties are being infiltrated, manipulated, and desecrated by ruthless cabal determined to cling to power at all costs. Even before the NDC assumed office, they had already begun a violent assault on our constitutional order. They established a so-called oral committee, an entity without legal basis or constitutional backing, which engaged in flagrant illegality. That was the opening salvo in what has now become a full-blown campaign to dismantle our sacred democratic foundations. In NDC governments today, they have deployed mercenaries and thugs, and they did so during the coalition. They managed to control the coalition centers last year, and to date, they've managed to stop through violence the declaration of the Ablekumanov constituency parliamentary elections. They brutalized party agents, intimidated voters, coerced electoral commission officials into declaring fraudulent parliamentary results in their favor. Where they failed to steal outright, they sought to manipulate, to bully, to force outcomes. It is no wonder that the courts are now systematically throwing out their bogus claims. This is because truth, though often delayed, cannot be buried. These mercenaries and thugs did not merely brutalize our parliamentary candidates, agents and supporters. They mutilated our nation. They inflicted physical harm, burned down the electoral commission offices, and destroyed vital public property. Yet to this day, none of them has been held accountable in court of law. Indeed, today Ghana, impunity reigns and is at the very top. Since assuming office, the president has weaponized the security services, deploying them in retrogressive PNDC-style raids on the homes of political opponents. private citizens, including former Governor of the Central Bank, Dr. Addison, and former Finance Minister Ken Oforiatta, have had their property seized, their right violated, and their dignity stripped. Fire. The NDC uses nominations and intimidation. The NDC has proposed 7 new appointments to the Supreme Court. Some competent, yes, but all selected to serve the diabolical agenda of the NDC government for a 3rd term for President Mahama. The wishes of the NDC is to fashion a judiciary in their image, subservient, pliant, loyal to party above law. It is no coincidence that President Mahama himself titled his memoir, My First Coup d'etat. The unfolding attacks on our democratic institutions appear to be his second. But the judiciary is not only his target and the target of his government and his party. Since returning to power, President Mahama has embarked on a sweeping peg of public and civil service. Hundreds of hard-working Ghanaians, professionals who have served government of all stripes with the dignity and skill, have been dismissed without cause or hounded into forced resignation. Their only crime was refusing to wear the NDC's colors or submit to its whims. This is a direct assault on the principle of neutrality in our public administration. It is a betrayal of the values enshrined in our constitution: merit, impartiality, and service to the nation, not to any political party. And as if the shameful attacks on the Chief Justice were not enough, His Excellency the President plans to turn his diabolic sight on the Electoral Commission. Just as several of his party stalwarts have predicted, plans are far advanced to dismantle the current commission and replace its leadership with loyal NDC operatives. This is no longer speculation. It is an unfolding conspiracy. The goal is clear: to seize total control of the democratic process and bend future elections to the will of one man and his party, a 3rd term agenda. He may have risen to power through the ballot box, but make no mistake, President Mahama and his party have no respect for the constitution that made that possible. They speak of accountability, but what do they think they are doing, and who do they think they are fooling? The Attorney General, far from being guardian of justice, has been reduced to a partisan tool, sweeping away prosecutions against NDC officials who allegedly were involved in all manner of malfeasance during the first administration of President Mahama. Now entangled in a web of allegations and counter-allegations, he has become a perfect reflection of the regime's decay, a symbol not of justice, but of rot in high office. They now choose which judge to sit on a particular case, and we've seen the transfer of a particular judge to preside on a case. An example again is Mr. Kwabena Edubuahin. How a suspect who is on bail could be remanded in custody because the Attorney General claims that the accused is doing something untoward. This is an example of what the NDC is up to. No.
From Swa, and some no, and now woman, yes, so my roba, yachi, woman, Yadima Koku, say, and now your friend constitution, I am rapping, and now you might be a messiah. Na sɛ wowɔ ɔman na police nyɛ adwuma, lawyer anyɛ adwuma, court anyɛ adwuma, ɛnyɛ sɛ wawu. Sɛ yɛ maame no mokɔ dwom a mommra ntɛm. Ɛsɛ biribi yɛ wɔ mmara ni hɔ, mesɛ mmara nyɛ dɛn. Is this the democracy we want to live in? No. This is not. Ɔman nim sɛ aba parliament, aba aban, aba mmara judiciary a yɛne mmara no judiciary no ɛwɔ ahoɔden si ne nyinaa. Now they are setting a very dangerous precedent in the history of Ghana. Omo pese omo ye bibia na soja aban na ba tetina ye de mabo eba sabi wo ma se ofuru ka ye boss no anu na NDC pese omo de ba na pese we jiro na ka se da bida mese die mese die mese die mese die mese die.
Ebisu fan say man pani akwanya owo e wo constitution mu na opese odi ya adwuma no ase edipa bi so mpese man pani de be say to me ne be ya adwuma eno e design no
oh man pani wo to me so odi constitution but adia ye enye constitution so answer na man pani kura no ye be to ba yi no no abo the triple so ba the chief justice. Because the more money, as a script now, and one of if you say, you're the council, yes, Roma, you say, you're to Obama, but you don't pass our power, no, and one what they control judiciary. Judy said, oh, my penny best said, piano, he's leaving a very bad legacy for himself and for the country.
Right.
Minority leader, other members of the leadership of the New Patriotic Party in Parliament present here, and other members of various political parties, inclusive as per your introduction. Let me, on behalf of the Right Honourable Speaker, welcome you to Parliament of Ghana. As you know, Parliament represents the people. Article 1 clause 1 of the Constitution is very clear. The sovereignty of Ghana is vested in the people of Ghana, in whose name and for whose welfare the powers of government are exercised in a manner within the limits laid out in the Constitution. Parliament, Article 93(1) of the Constitution, represents the people. And like it said, where the people, sections of the people, a group of citizens have a concern because of the grievance redress rule of Parliament, necessarily they may want to approach Parliament. I believe that it is in that regard that you have decided to come over to Parliament to present some concerns to the Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker is not physically here at the moment. He is caught up in several engagements. Almost every minute he is in one engagement or the other, and that has been the trend. That has been the trend. So he's not here. And in the absence of the Speaker, I believe the appropriate person to quickly stand in to receive you would be the clerk and members of the parliamentary service, precisely because the House is even on recess. And so, on behalf of Right Honourable Speaker, you are most welcome. We would, at this point, on behalf of Speaker, grant you audience, receive whatever message you have, and then we can in turn communicate to the right speaker. On that note, the floor is open.